gonna select 25 things that you may or may not know about me, and you probably didn't care to begin with. But I'm gonna select 5 of them that are fake, so you can guess along which are true and which are fake.
Okay, Pewds, you're on. I'm going to overanalyze the video and tell you guys which are true and which are not. I will explain the reasoning behind my decision so you guys are more aware of what's going on in my mind and his. Just a quick disclaimer before we begin, I actually really like PewDiePie's content, so this isn't in any way try to bring any negativity towards him. It just seemed like a fun video idea and, well, he challenged us. Now, although I have studied a little bit of detecting lies at college, I am in no way an expert, so I'll let you decide whether I'm right or wrong, and if PewDiePie ever sees this, like, you know, he can just tell me to shut up or something, you know? That being said, Pewds, are you sure there's only 5? One of the first things I'm going to need to do is go through the video and find one where he's blatantly telling the truth, but without it being so obvious to him, so he has to think about the answer or the question. But I'll tell you when I get to that one, when I'm there. However, I'm going to go through it now so I can understand his reactions. Anyway, let's get on with the video.
I don't eat vegetables. I gotta poker face my way through this. My favorite...
Who doesn't eat vegetables? I mean, if he said meat, then it might be a bit harder, but generally, most people would eat vegetables, right? At the start of this video, it's going to be harder for me to pick out the truth from the lies because, well, as he said, he's got to poker face his way through this. He is hyper aware of what he's doing, whether he's lying or telling the truth. Whereas later in the video, that will relax and it will become easier for me. However, this one should be straight away a blatant lie. The fact that he said he had to poker face his way through it tells you that for a start. But I worry that he knows that not eating vegetables would be a bit ridiculous and therefore he might be trying to make it sound blatant just to throw us off. You know what I mean? However, I'm going to say that he's lying here. He's going to start it off with a lie.
My favorite holiday was visiting the Caribbean. Why would I ever lie about that?
Exactly, why would he lie about that? But I think that that was true, it came off, and then he had a thought about it and reaction to it. So that's kind of a normal process to go through when telling the truth. He made a statement, he paused, he had a thought, and then he reacted to his thought. And that's normal because he's recalling memories. So that's true.
I know how to sail a boat. I get so seasick if I get on a boat that I want to throw up in my mouth and then I swallow it.
So I thought I'd do 3 and 4 together because they're kind of linked, because they're opposites. Essentially, one is a lie. I mean, technically, he could learn how to sail a boat whilst throwing up the entire time, but I probably assume that's not true. But that does leave a question, which one is the lie? Well, I believe it's sailing a boat. Maybe he knows how to sail a boat, but I think that that's the lie here. The statement was pretty vague, straight to the point, and then he moved on.
I know how to sail a boat.
Which is fine, it could be true, but if I had to pick one, it would be this one to be true.
I get so seasick if I get on a boat that I want to throw up in my mouth and then I swallow it. It's pretty hot.
He talks about it more. He added detail with feelings and yes, as a joke, but I believe it still stands.
My favorite band of all time is Radiohead.
I didn't notice anything with the Radiohead statement that would make him out to be a liar. I saw some truth traits in his facial expressions.
I am a compulsive liar.
And if you compare the 2 statements there, I am a compulsive liar. It doesn't matter how you take that, he's lying. Because if he's telling the truth, then he's lying about everything else, pretty much. And then if he's not telling the truth, then he's lying, which makes him a compulsive liar anyway. Huh? Right. The difference between these 2 statements, Radiohead and the compulsive liar, is they're quite blatantly obviously opposites. One is true and one is fake. So, with Radiohead,
it's pretty hot. My favorite band of all time is Radiohead.
He blinks a little bit more.
I am a compulsive...
And his voice changes.
My favorite band of all time is Radiohead.
His eyebrows raise at the beginning as well. So let's go through it again.
My favorite band...
There.
My favorite band
there.
Of all time is Radiohead.
You saw his eyebrow raise.
I am a compulsive
This one.
liar.
He blinks but holds his eyes afterwards, like nothing else really changes.
All time is Radiohead. I am a compulsive liar.
His facial features freeze almost when he lies because he's hyper aware.
I played electric guitar for 6 or 7.
There we go. I know this one to be true. I already know he plays guitar before watching this video. This is the part that I use to tell whether he's telling the truth or not.
I played electric guitar guitar for
There's the blinking, the eyebrows
6 or
move.
7 years.
And although he starts to look to the other side, his eyes, when he thinks,
guitar for,
he just look that way.
6
But when he gives the answer, he's looking that way. I believe he was thinking, should I lie? But then changed it to the truth, and he looks this way, or from my perspective this way, to go to the right answer. So that's his radical thinking, the way he thinks properly, rather than creatively. So if you were trying to think of a video content, you'd use different parts of the brain, and your eyes naturally will look different ways because of this process. I'm not 100% sure how it works, but ultimately that's how I've learned to tell lies mostly. The eyes work very well for me. I've picked out many people for that.
For 7 years, I was pretty good at it. I was a solo guitarist. I have some videos of you to prove. I know.
See, there it was again. I have some videos, and he looks the other way. The other way. He looks at it like that again. Realizes that he probably shouldn't say it, and goes, "No, don't go check out the videos."
Could be a lie.
It could be a lie.
You don't know anything. Was 14. I won the district championship in tennis.
If I'm to be honest, I have no idea, to be honest. I've never heard of PewDiePie playing tennis. But from his reaction, as I've said with my other ways of checking, he looked that way, which is PewDiePie's specific, truthful way to look. Everyone's different, okay? Remember that. Don't just start doing it to other people and assume it's the same. Also, the occasional pauses are there to allow extra thought, so he's trying to think about it. When he's saying 14, he's looking up in the right direction, so he's actually trying to think about these before he says them, which tells me he's telling the truth.
I have never twerked upside down.
How'd you twerk upside down? What? Whatever. I don't need to understand what he's saying. I can still tell whether he's telling the truth or lying, I think. I'm still baffled. How'd you twerk upside down? I don't even want to look it up. He's trying to trick us here because he knows that this is the awkward one. Like I said, he might do at the beginning where he knew that it was awkward and he's just trying like that. But I thought he was lying with the first one. This time, I think he's telling the truth. He does freeze his face in the way that he's trying to lie, which is relatively normal.
I have never twerked upside down.
What gets me with it, though, is his smile and the sigh at the end, which tells me he's remembered it and now he can't believe that he's done it. It's almost like a bit of, not necessarily guilt, but like he's admitting something that he's not too happy about. That's the best I can explain that. But I'd say that's true.
I used to study industrial economy at the university.
That was very short. I used to study industrial economy at university, was it?
I used to study industrial economy at the university.
I believe he's telling the truth. As you watch him say it, he's not too focused on what he's doing. He's not doing that, for a start. He's relaxed.
Industrial economy
He's
at the
blinked. He's
university.
closed his eyes for a little longer as well. It's just the way the body's going through it, really.
I used to study industrial economy at the university.
He raised his eyebrow. There you go. So there's another truthful trait from PewDiePie. He raises his... That's his left eyebrow. He looks to the left when he tells the truth. I just worked it out from doing that. So it's my right facing him, his left.
When Miley Cyrus twerk, I throw up a little bit in my mouth every time.
Now, although I don't technically believe this to be true, I don't believe that he means it in a literal statement. But I'm going to say this is true because I don't believe he likes watching Miley Cyrus twerk. So that makes this statement true. God, this is such a weird video.
He gets just as scared as me from horror movies. If not more scared.
Right, he said his dad's scared of horror movies. He looked up to his left, my right. He's portraying emotion, he's smiling about it, so he's remembering his experiences about it.
I get my nerdy side from my mom.
His eyebrows lifted, that tells me that statement was also true. Though he did look to the right, which did make me question that one, if I'm to be honest. The other triggers, I believe, are more dominant than the look to the right. Maybe he was just thinking about something else at the time. It's hard to really tell. It's never always full, so that's why I say the disclaimers at the beginning.
I have one sister and one younger brother.
I actually don't know his family. I know he's got a sister. I've never seen anything about a brother. Other than that, from what I can tell, I didn't see any traits of lying. Right, so from what I can tell, I already know he has a sister, but I don't know whether he's got a brother. I haven't got a clue, to be honest. I can't remember anything about him having a brother. So, I'm not too sure, but I didn't see anything. I've watched it a fair few times. I'm going to say it's true. I say the true ticks outweigh the negative ones, the lie ticks, triggers. So I'm going to say that's true. I know half of it's true, so there's that.
I secretly wish I was part of One Direction.
He's playing it off as a joke at the end, which actually does make this a bit more difficult as he's focused on the joke and not the statement. Playing it back a few times now, I believe that he actually does, or did at the time, want to be a part of One Direction.
I started YouTube from, I sold artworks that I made in Photoshop. They're pretty lame, but I sold them, and that's how I paid for like my computer so I could get started with YouTube. And here's another one. I wanted to get started with YouTube like 2 years before I actually started. Before I actually knew what YouTube was. Like, I wanted to make gaming videos.
That one was interesting. So he did a few different things there. So I've put them both together because they're basically the same thing, but one's extended from the other. So 16 and 17. He sold out to help fund YouTube and wanted to start 2 years sooner. This is definitely true. It's gotta be. Everything pointed towards the truth. There was the emotional story. There was remembering pauses for that. He was thinking about it. He looked to his left, my right. There was nothing there that told me that it was a lie. However, there is something there. He kept looking down. I believe that there was something at that point in his time which was emotional. Maybe he started his YouTube channel for a reason, or maybe it was delayed for those 2 years for an emotional reason, because he kept looking down. Maybe a script was there, I'm not sure. But ultimately, there was a bit of an emotional turn there. I'll show you.
That I made in Photoshop. They're pretty lame.
He's relatively happy, but he's looked down,
and
that's when he was like, but
that's how I paid for like my computer so I could get started with YouTube. And here's another one. I wanted to get started with YouTube like 2 years before I actually...
Some people just naturally look down a lot more than others, but PewDiePie is on camera, is aware the camera's in front of him, and I don't often see him look down at any other points in the video, so I feel like there is something to this.
My favorite food is spicy food, even if I cry in the toilet the day after. It's part of the experience. My girlfriend...
See, with the spicy food one, number 18, this one actually felt like a lie. And it's because I focused too much on the end.
Favorite food is spicy food.
There you go. If I just focus on that bit in a minute, it all adds up. But if I carry on with this part...
If I cry in the toilet the day after.
He's frozen his face.
It's part of the experience.
He doesn't do any truthful traits there. But that's because it's a joke. He's purely doing a limited section of a joke there.
Like,
the truthful part is this.
My favorite food is spicy food.
It's spicy food. He likes it. He's getting into the conversation. He has that emotional and the driven thought. He goes forward. I like spicy food. So there's that enthusiasm towards what he's talking about, which tells you he's telling more of the truth. Someone who's lying won't have that enthusiasm, not usually anyway, unless they're getting really good at lying, because they're focused on the lie and whether they're going to get caught out, what they could say that would be wrong. Their brain is focused more on other things that they just don't get excited about what they're talking about.
My girlfriend knows more about football and cars than me. I feel like these are more secret confessions.
He did the eye look, which obviously gave it away. There was also the laugh at the end, which made it more sincere. And the fact that he said it felt like more confessions. He's telling you how he feels in the moment, which just proves that it's true.
My favorite number is 20. When I was a kid,
Why? My favourite number is 25. I don't know why. But yeah, that's fair enough. It seems like a random thing to come out with, but it kind of just makes him normal, really. If he's abnormal, then I guess so am I.
When I was a kid, I always won with number 20. I don't know, it's been my lucky number since as long as I can remember.
There was backstory. He was excited. It's a simple, straight truth.
I am 1.95 centimeters tall. I was brought up, remember. What? I am 1.95 centimeters tall.
1.95 centimeters tall. What, that big? that big? Hi, Pewds. Blatantly a lie. He got it wrong. What? How? There is absolutely no way that could be true. I don't even need to overanalyze anything here. That would actually make, like, meet and greets for PewDiePie, like, fatally dangerous at that point.
I was brought up by ducks. It's true, I swear.
I suppose that explains why he's so quackers. Sorry. It could be true.
By ducks.
He may have been left in the wild and ducks raised him and brought him back to his parents one day for him to start a YouTube channel and then make this video and confuse me. Or not. I want to analyze it anyway.
I was brought up by ducks.
So he froze his face. I was brought up by ducks. Right, and then
it's true, I swear.
It's true. Just the need to over-confess that. Like,
once I find something that I love, I get so nerdy in it. Like I'll do it non-stop. Which I think is kind of like YouTube happened, actually, yeah.
Yeah, that seems true. Obviously, I mean, he's a big YouTuber now. He found something he loved, which was YouTube, and he did it a lot, and he loved it. That's a simple true. I don't need to analyze it, but
non-stop. Which I think
it's
is
just
kind of like YouTube.
his eye movements and everything. It's just pointing to the truth anyway.
I actually don't swear a lot outside of playing horror games. I rarely swear.
This one's interesting.
I actually don't swear.
There you go. He points his eyes the other way. He said he doesn't swear a lot unless he's playing horror games. So, the point is he basically only swears for his videos on YouTube when he's playing the horror games and he's getting jump scared, I guess. I'm not sure. He's claiming that he doesn't swear outside of his videos. I don't think he's telling the truth.
A lot outside of playing horror games. I rarely swear.
There is a bit of emotion there. There's a bit of smiling.
There are a lot outside of playing horror.
He's trying to think about it, but he's actually thinking about it in a more specific manner. He's saying, I don't swear a lot outside of video games. Because he's realising that's where you've seen him swear, that's where we know he swears. But I'd also just like to point out that he's sworn a couple of times in this already. Not that there's anything wrong with swearing.
Games. I rarely swear.
And although he was smiling, portraying emotion, the smile was also frozen. You may notice.
I'm actually scared of thunder.
So like straight away we can see a different smile.
I actually don't
this
swear
smile is relatively frozen.
Outside of playing horror games. I rarely swear. I'm actually scared of thunder.
The scared of thunder part really took me a fair few watches, just purely because it's the last one, and it's just so short. It ends so quickly. But I finally came to the conclusion that it's true. I didn't really have much to go off, but my decision was made when I finally noticed this at the beginning.
I'm actually scared of thunder.
That's right. That's what hesitation looks like. However, he knows exactly what he's going to say here, so this hesitation comes from embarrassment or vulnerability, which his subconscious is naturally trying to stop him from doing. So that's the entire video, and if you're observant, you may have noticed that I actually picked out 6 lies, not 5. There's a couple of reasons why this might be the case. One of those reasons might actually be because he's a compulsive liar. Maybe there isn't 5. Maybe there is more. But if that was true, then I would say there was 5 and I would never have noticed. But then he would be a compulsive liar, making that 6. And then he'd be a compulsive liar, meaning it wasn't a lie, so there'd be 5. Anyway, another reason is that I could be wrong about any one of these or more. I'm not Dr. Carl Lightman from Lie to Me. The reason I believe there are 6 and not 5 is because one of the lies was a lie that wasn't intended to be noticed. He probably eats veg. He likely never learnt to sail with seasickness, potentially. Being a compulsive liar would render this video useless. He certainly is bigger than 2 centimeters tall, and unless his family are secretly ducks, then it must be swearing outside of his gaming videos, which would be the thing he doesn't want you to know he's lying about. So why the extra lie? Surely swearing off of his YouTube channel is fine, if you swear freely on your own channel anyway. Well, maybe. You see, it's likely that PewDiePie at the time was under a lot of professional pressure, and wanted to present himself as professionally as he could. So I don't think he minds me saying it now, if I'm correct, because it was more relevant back then for him to act professional. Nowadays it shouldn't really matter if I talk about it, do you know what I mean? And hey PewDiePie, if you do end up seeing this video and you want me to take it down, send me an email and I will unlist it, because like, I enjoy your content and I wouldn't want to annoy you. And let's face it, this wasn't a gaming video and he swears a fair few times in it, and that is even after the edits. And before I go, I just want to reinforce the fact that I don't want to discredit PewDiePie in any way, shape or form. He's not my favourite YouTuber, but I really do enjoy his content with his Reddit videos and his reaction videos, and with that being said, I will soon be working on fast facts about PewDiePie. So, if you're interested to hear more about PewDiePie, then subscribe, and I'll see you around next time. And I hope you enjoyed this fucking video, so I'll see you around, guys. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.